going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off The Woodwork, your soccer betting podcast here on Faceoff Sports Network. Nick, Pavlos, Kenny, back with you here Monday, January 27th. It is the final week in the Champions League. 2 weeks in a row, we are back here with a show. 10-3 last week. Absolutely smashed the slate. And I think one of our losers was a big plus 300. So I'm hesitant to even call that a loser. I feel like that was a feel-good shot. But great to be back with you guys. Great to be back on the winning side of things. And we are hoping to continue that today. Guys, full slate, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, every game at the same time, every team playing. Decision day, top 8 spots up for grabs. The next, 16 spots up for grabs. Man City on the outside looking in. Slight chances for Dinamo Shakhtar. We will have a day filled with drama. And unfortunately, I think some of the odds reflect that. We're going to get into it. Kenny, Pavlos, how you guys feeling? Hell yeah, man.
Nick. I think we had a really strong week last week, and here we are. We're in match day 8 of 8. This is where we do our best work. Like motivation and full sync here. It's going to play a part as to what teams come out with their hair on fire and what teams come out just looking to get this competition over with and get back to their domestic leagues. There's going to be some teams out there that are playing for goal differentials, trying to get into that top 8. And there's going to be some teams that are just happy to be there, but looking forward to getting into it and hopefully putting together another winning week.
And it's a strange one because, as I was telling the guys earlier, yesterday I did a quick rundown of all the matches. I penciled down the matches that I liked, but it's really hard to track down who wants what. What other matches are they relying to? Is a draw good enough for them? Do they need to score? What happens if they don't score? It's really, really, really hard, and it's even harder when there's no group stages. But still, we're here. We're gonna do the job, no matter how mentally draining it is. Some picks are straightforward. Some picks might be straight up gambles. But it's exciting. It's the first decision day of the new format. Let's see what Sithauser will see this week.
Should be good. I think we said it last week, and I just want to echo it, man. The new format has been great. I personally really like it. I think it's brought interesting games from week to week. A lot of goals, right? If you like overs, this has been a good competition for you. I think the lines have gotten a lot sharper, right? We're here on match day 8. Weeks 1 and 2, I feel like we saw a lot of opportunity. The lines weren't where they should have been. Books have tightened that up a little bit here. So excited to get into it. I mean, again, didn't stop us last week. We have to brag here when we're crushing. So let's do that again. Gonna just basically run through the list of games I have. The order I'm going in is just the order that DraftKings has it listed. So I'm going to toss it up. If we have something to say, we'll get into it. If we don't, we'll pass. But I think somehow, some way, we do a good job of almost having a play in every single game. So let's dive right in. First game, Brest at home to Real Madrid. Real Madrid minus 250 on the money line. Brest plus 600. We spoke about them last week. One of the surprise teams of the competition. 4 wins out of 7. They're on 13 points. They are pretty well qualified for the next round. Still with a chance to make the top 8 if they get a result. Real Madrid actually below them on 12 points. 4 wins, 3 losses. 17 goals for, 12 against. So winner of this game still technically has a shot for top 8. Do you think Real Madrid take care of business at minus 250, or does Brest have a shot to keep this one, cover a spread, get something at home? I kind of got nothing. I think, I could start. I mean, I think we're starting to see Real Madrid come into form. We saw a really good result from them last week. Granted, they played an RB team that definitely wasn't up for it. But they've started to round into form just from a personnel standpoint. I think Mbappe is starting to get it. Rodrigo has been absolutely outstanding. He has goal contributions, and I think now 10 of his last 12 games in all competitions. I feel like you're going to see a little bit of rotation out of them in this game because they've had it tough in La Liga, but probably somewhere I'm not looking to get involved. I think they just kind of make it happen. I don't know that you need to risk them scoring 3 goals. They very well could. This is what they do in the Champions League, but like I said, Brest have been good. I think French teams, you mentioned this last week, Pavlos, at home, French teams have been almost unstoppable. So I would proceed with caution in this game. You could almost talk me into Brest plus 1.5, but I don't know if I'm quite there.
Yeah, actually, I've got a play in this game. It's actually first leg of a parlay. So I've really liked what I've seen out of Real Madrid lately. Like Nick just said, Brest against Shakhtar wasn't even a home game for Shakhtar. I think Brest got dominated. The numbers really didn't even do it justice. My thing here with Real Madrid, this is like their new regime when you put in Mbappe and whatnot. If they win this match, just go in. I know I talk about away form all the time, and it's a lot harder to go into enemy territory and put together a quality performance, but they can do that just one time here. They've got a chance at top 8 after, it was looking, they were just going to be happy to be in a round or, one of the 9 through 24 spots. So I think they get the job done here. I think their money line is parlayable. I have it parlayed with something else that I see is pretty safe. But for this one, Real Madrid minus 254 money line to close out, 2-leg parlay minus 112. The other leg, Nick, do you want me to go
ahead, hit
the other
it.
one down now? Or
yeah, hit it.
So earlier this week, I faded Benfica against Casapia. I thought Benfica minus 1.25 away from home with a big Champions League game on deck was, I didn't think that spread was anywhere where it should have been. As expected, they dropped points to Casapia. I don't see that happening unless Benfica had their eye directly on this game with Juve.
Yeah.
Not only do I like, I'm going to wait till you guys break down the game to discuss the spread, but I love the first half under 1.5. We know how Juve play games. This gives us a little extra room for error. First half under 1.5 brings in a nice minus 112, and what I see is a pretty safe parlay.
I like that a lot.
Benfica, first half under. Let's see. Versus Monaco, there were just 1 goal. Versus Bayern, no goals. Versus Red Star, 2 goals. Okay, yeah. Could happen. I mean, you know what? I actually have a play in the Benfica match.
Let's go.
We took it last week, and it was a void, actually, because Di Maria didn't start. I'm going to take again Di Maria to have an assist. Again, because he needs one more assist to tie Cristiano Ronaldo for the top assist man in the history of the Champions League. So it's a huge motivation, and there's no guarantee that Benfica will progress to the next round. And there's no guarantee that Di Maria, who is now 36, is going to keep playing at Benfica. So he might go to the MLS, he might go to Saudi Arabia, he might go back to Argentina. So this is probably his last chance to get to at least tie Cristiano Ronaldo for the top assist man in the history of the Champions League. So I'm going to FanDuel where they have the odds plus 460 anytime assist on Angel Di Maria. And again, this is a void if he doesn't play. So that's my play for this match. Strange match all over. Benfica are really weird. Brest versus Real Madrid. It's really weird that Brest have 2 wins and a draw at home in 3 matches. A win against PSV, a win against Sturm Graz. Okay, that was pretty normal. And a 1-1 draw against Leverkusen.
Good result.
And it's really weird that Real Madrid have won 1 and lost twice on the road. Although one loss was to Lille, the other one was to Liverpool. Didn't score in any of those 2. And they did beat Atalanta by 2-3. In a match where they probably shouldn't have won. So Real Madrid in the Champions League on the road, they're kind of shaky. And Brest, they're a miracle maker. For my standards, I'm not touching this match even with a free bet. Anything can happen. Brest could stun Real Madrid, but Madrid will do Madrid things and score 2 late goals and win by 1-2. Good luck with your bet, Kenny.
Yes.
But this is not my cup of tea this week.
Yeah.
I'm
I
adding
agree.
something in this Benfica game as well, by the way.
I got one too.
So,
I got one too.
Nick, do you want to go first?
are
It's
coming up.
up to you.
Yeah, listen, I think we joked about it last week due to his name similarity to our very good friend Pavlos here, but Pavlidis for Benfica scored a fucking hat trick last week, I believe, in the first half. All 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
They're giving him plus 250 to score in this game against Juventus. Juventus' defense has not been that good. The guy in a run of form like this at a number like plus 250, and you guys know me, and if you listen to the show, you know it. If you're new to the show, I don't often take somebody to score a goal. I don't think it's ever properly valued how difficult it is to score a goal. But plus 250 for a guy that's coming off a game with 3 goals, I'm willing to take a stab in that department. I think he's been fantastic. He's their main goal threat, and I think Juve's defense leaves a lot to be desired. I don't know what the outcome of this game is going to be. It's kind of weird to me that Juve are actually such a big favorite at home. I don't think that's correct. And when it's not correct, that leads me to believe that it probably comes through. I would like, if you took Juve money line, I would see why you took it. But I can't make heads or tails of Benfica. Never have been able to. Same goes with Porto. Same goes with Sporting. Any team out of Portugal, that's way out of my realm of expertise. So I'm going to take a stab here with Pavlidis.
What about Pavlidis' goal by Di Maria assist? That would put like 6-7 units in our bank.
At least.
Would be nice.
At least. Let's go.
In the
Kenny,
second half, though.
So, like I already talked about with Casapia defeating Benfica midweek, Benfica had this game circled for obvious reasons. They're at 10 points. They're tied with Stuttgart for 24th place. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Juventus, unless there is a 4-point win available out there, Juventus is already in. They're at 12 points. Every team below 24th. Yeah. Granted, yes, they could win, and they have a chance to top 8, but this is not a must-win game for Juve. I think Benfica can go in here and get plus 0.25 is minus 109. I really like the looks of that.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you. I think Benfica to score a goal at minus 250 is a great parlay piece if you're looking to put that in something. We just took a goal scorer and assist guy, and Kenny likes them to cover. I mean, I think Benfica obviously get a goal in this one. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
And the only little thing I have to add for the Real Madrid bet is they had Real Valladolid as their last game. Their next game to follow is against Espanyol. Nothing tough, not like they have like the El Clasico or anything like that to follow. So I don't know. I think they put full effort into making sure they get the 3 points, but that we've already talked about that game.
For sure. All right, next up we have Barcelona at home to Atalanta. Barca minus 135 favorite. Atalanta plus 320. The draw also plus 320. We have Barca basically locked into first, second, or third in the competition. They are on 18 points, 1 loss in 7 games. Atalanta in 7th place, looking to secure that first round bye. They are on 14 points, so would do well to get something out of this game. One thing we have to say, Barcelona, credit to them, they've scored 26 goals in those 7 games, so they're averaging over 3 a game themselves. We know about Atalanta, they do pretty much the same. Should we just be taking like over 5.5 in this game, or should we proceed with caution? What are you guys seeing in this game?
I saw this one. It's kind of hard to. You don't really know what Barcelona's going to come out with. You could see both teams just say, "Oh, we're both in. Let's just put on fireworks." You could just see Barcelona say, "No, we've already no need to risk injury." I mean, both teams to score and over 2.5 is minus 183, and that's probably the best price you're going to find. I didn't really know what to do with this game. I had it in my notes. Atalanta plus 1.5 parlay piece possible, but then Barcelona could come out and say, "Nah, I don't think so." Score 3 goals in the first half. I don't really know what to do with this match.
I would say just in all honesty, probably not a game I'm betting seriously. I think there's other games to find better bets, better value. This should be a fun game. If you wanted to circle in on one game to watch just for like aesthetics and enjoyment, could I see over 3.5 coming in by itself? 2-2, 3-1, 3-2, something like that, I could. You could just bet that and enjoy it and have some fun. But probably staying away from any serious bet in this one with both teams pretty much positions locked up.
You could ladder the goals like our producer's probably going to be doing over
He's
3.5.
probably got over 9 in this
5.5.
game if I know him.
Yep.
Goals might be the way to go, but we should say this, that teams played last week, right, in the Champions League. Then they played weekend matches. Now they play Champions League again. They got weekend matches again, and next week is Cup week for Spain for sure, Italy for sure. There is a lot of teams who have to play like too many matches in a very short time frame. So there's gonna be rotation. Don't treat them as with regular stats. When you read their stats, it doesn't necessarily mean that things will go that way. Now, as far as this match goes, I really don't see how this stays under. I mean, 4 goals in a match between Barcelona and Atalanta, 2 teams that have very, very potent offensive lines. Barcelona keep doing this thing where they keep their defense way, up in the pitch, like very close to the midfield. Sometimes they're susceptible to counterattacks, and Atalanta are lethal on counterattacks. So could be like a match where each team scores twice. I think the over 3.5 goals, it's nowhere near a lock. But if I had to bet on this match, I'd probably take the over 3.5 goals.
Saying exactly the same thing. I love that. And here's one thing I'll definitely say: proceed with caution, because these are 2 teams where you never know what the starting 11 is going to look like. We might not even know it till obviously they have to submit it, an hour before or whatever. But like you're not going to know until the very last minute. Could see a lot of rotation from both of these teams. So proceed with caution. Next one up, big one. Man City at home to Club Bruges. City -600, Bruges +1400, the draw +700. As I mentioned on the top, City on the outside looking in. They only have 8 points in these 7 games. Teams ahead of them looking for results: Stuttgart, Sporting, PSG, Benfica, Club Bruges. So Bruges with a point could essentially knock City out of the competition. Do you guys think they have what it takes to get something done here on the road, or is City going to figure it out just in time to make that final qualification?
I predict, I hate to say this way, I don't think that there's a chance that, whether it be the referees, I don't care if it's Pep Guardiola, clearly he didn't do this in his marriage. He did not put his foot down and say, "You're not walking out the door." I don't think there's any chance that Club Brugge walks out of that stadium with a point. I do not. I don't, whether it be because of the referee giving a penalty to make sure, like, I'm just going to put it out there. This competition is going to see more viewers with City in the next round. Now, I don't think it's going to come down to that. It's crazy that I'm even talking about this team, because last week I had Manchester City at under 3.5. I had them plus 0.25. We're talking in the group chat, 0-0 first half, check mark. It took all of 6 minutes for that fucking defense to make sure my under 3.5 was dead. I'm talking 360 seconds. I'm sitting at 0-0, and the defense just was like, "Yeah, no, we ain't no." Not only did they blow my under 3.5, my plus 0.25 was cooked in probably the next 15 more minutes, 4-2. And now here I am talking about them.
And nobody trashes PSG more than I do. They made me look like idiots. Like, wow, look, PSG just came out and scored 4 goals in about 7 minutes.
And the other thing with this too is because of how bad that Manchester City defense is now, just the team in general, going all out in this game to make sure they get this, it's going to be all for naught, because they're probably either going to crash out the first round, next round, or if they get to face a team that's got less quality talent, maybe they make it to the next round. But this team isn't going to do anything this season. They're too slow. But all taken into consideration, it would be embarrassment is not even the word if they don't get all 3 points here. I've got them minus 1.5 parlayed with Atletico Madrid money line against my squad, Salzburg. I got to get updated odds for that, but I'll let you guys talk about this game while I'm pulling up the odds.
Listen, if you ask me, I wouldn't be surprised if City didn't win this match and were left outside.
That'd be awesome.
I know it's really bad for viewership. It's really bad for everything. But City, they've given us reasons to doubt them, and a lot of them. It's not just okay. Rodri was missing. It's the glue between the midfield and between the defense and the offense. He can be defensive, he can be offensive. Okay, but you have a budget of, I don't know, gazillions. You can't seriously tell me that one player missing makes the whole team fall apart. There's something else going on. Probably has to do something with Pep. By the way, there is a Turkish match. They're 0-2 with a red card. Fucking
No
hell.
way.
I almost brought that up when I almost was talking about what our producer is talking about in the group chat, just to give you
Fucking
guys an
crazy.
idea of the sick mind.
We bet Turkish games now, apparently. So yeah, back to City. Pep is not having a very good time. His divorce was finalized a couple of weeks ago. He was seen crying coming out of the court. Kyle Walker is now at AC Milan, and I was just watching the press conference that the Pep gave, and he almost cried, to be honest. He was looking really sad. He said the fastest, strongest, most important player in our squad asked to leave, and we had to let him go. So he was
At 35, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
No, but it's just interesting how highly they regard him.
Yeah, and I think, Kyle Walker is either trying to escape some personal stuff that he has a bunch of kids with a bunch of different wives or whatever. Now he's trying to breed the Italians. I don't know. Maybe he didn't feel heard in that Manchester City squad. Maybe he went to AC Milan for something new, a new challenge or whatever. But anyway, there's all sorts of things going wrong for Manchester City. I'm just going to look at the stats alone. They kept just 4 clean sheets. Let me see right here. 4 clean sheets in last 20 matches in all competitions. So that's really bad. And those clean sheets came against Salford in the fucking FA Cup. Ipswich, a team that was just promoted.
Might as well be.
Yeah, they're punching bags. Leicester, who are also just promoted. Yeah, not just a terrible side, but still. And Nottingham Forest. Okay, that was a good result. So Bruges, they scored in 15 of 16 away matches in all competitions so far this season. And in all 3 of their away matches in the Champions League. Last season, they made a really good run, I think, till the semis of the Conference League. They scored in all their matches, all group stage, home, away. They scored in all their matches. Very tricky side. I definitely see them getting not too many shots. They don't need too many shots. They need like 5 shots. Give them 5 shots. They're going to be like 3 on target. One of them could easily go in. I'm just gonna go Club Bruges over half a goal, team total over half a goal, -107. Somebody's gonna say again, why don't you take both teams to score it's at even money? I'm paying 7 cents more for one less thing to happen in the match. So I just want Club Bruges team total over half a goal. Does that mean that I see a Club Bruges 1-0 win? Call me crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
We've seen it.
Just
We've
for the
seen it on
record,
this show.
For the record, that's what I was just going to say. The last time that we did this, it was in a Shakhtar game, and both teams did not score.
Shakhtar versus Barcelona, it was actually. Yep. So, yeah, I don't care if City drop 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 goals on Club Brugge. Just give me one Club Brugge goal. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe they're -610 favorites at home. Yeah, because they need a win. But the fact that they need a win doesn't mean that I am going to have to drop a -610 on them to do so. The spread is at -2. I don't know. Could be. It's City. You never know. But with the odds that I have in front of my screen and all the things all the shithousery that goes on in the City's camp, I'm not going to bet on City, even if they win 7-0. The value here is to take Club Brugge to score a goal, maybe give them some extra anxiety, maybe City turn it around, or maybe City are already 6-0 up and then they concede one late goal. Because keep in mind, Bruges, they need
something.
Yeah, I mean, they can theoretically progress with a loss here, but it will be dependent on other results. A draw surely gets them qualified.
Yep.
So it's tricky. Just don't go running on betting, putting obscene amounts of money on City because,
Ever.
it's tricky.
Yep. One thing I could say we're always pretty consistent on is, avoid the trap of the huge favorite. So definitely agree with you here. I was initially thinking both teams to score, so I'm glad you made the point. We're taking Bruges to get a goal in this one. I like it a lot. Next game up, Girona at home to Arsenal. Girona's plus 425. Arsenal's minus 160. Arsenal's pretty much automatically qualified. Girona has no chance to qualify. I don't have a damn thing to say about this game. Full pass for me. Not sure if you guys have anything here.
Nothing.
Nothing. Pass. Arsenal,
right.
they're hosting City in their next match. That's all I'm gonna say. So there surely gonna be some, a lot of rotation.
Yep.
Girona, even though they don't go for anything, they have a match against Las Palmas, which is theoretically an easier. Yeah, don't get involved in this match. Could go anywhere.
For
no
sure.
chance of just. There's no reason to spend any time talking about this.
All right, next one up. PSV at home to Liverpool. Should be a pretty good game here. Plus 195 to PSV. Plus 125 for Liverpool. We have Liverpool top of the table, undefeated. PSV could theoretically get caught, I guess, on goal differential. They do have 11 points, so they're sitting okay. Guessing they're not looking to get blown out in this one. Do you guys have a play for this game? Or thoughts? Sorry, shouldn't always be a play. Do we have
I
thoughts?
feel like Liverpool could accidentally win this game with their second lineup. If anything, I'd be looking at PSV at home, like plus a quarter of a goal, because they've had the advantage of Liverpool playing their second string. But I don't even want to go. No.
Okay, I do have a play in this match.
Ooh.
And a sub play. Okay, my play is the draw. Plus 250.
Plus 265 on DraftKings.
Plus 265. Listen, okay, we got two matches. The one is Liverpool versus PSV, and the other one is PSG versus Stuttgart, where a comfortable draw gets them both qualified. Of course, Liverpool are already qualified, but why is one draw at plus 150 and the other one is plus 265? Do we not see? I mean, listen, it's a big number, and I'm willing to take it for multiple reasons. First of all, Liverpool with a draw, they will lock the top spot. If they lose and Barcelona win, they lose the top spot. So a draw gets them there. They have no reason to spend any unnecessary resources, to put their feet in the fire, to take any risks to win this match. They don't need a win. They need a draw just to finish at the top. Now, they're 7-0-0 in the first edition of the Champions League. Maybe they have an incentive or a motive to win all 8 matches and become the first team to do so and write some kind of history. Maybe. There's the narrative of Liverpool's coach Slot, who used to coach Feyenoord, and Feyenoord and PSV are arch rivals. However, he didn't win a lot. He usually lost to PSV, or there were draws against PSV when he was coaching Feyenoord. Now, does he take a better Liverpool side and out of spite tries to beat PSV by a lot and maybe force them to be eliminated? I don't think so. So, PSV, they're not exactly qualified. If they lose and City win, it could be them. Of course, a lot of other results have to go their way. But if they lose, for example, 4-0 to Liverpool, I'm just saying that's not going to happen. Maybe they could be eliminated. So PSV definitely interested more for points in this game. A draw leaves everybody happy. And just if you want to think, a little bit outside of the box and with a bit of sneakiness, Liverpool, they might, allow PSV to qualify, maybe to dent Manchester City's chances of qualifying, because PSV are one of the potential teams that City are looking to overtake. So, all things considered, the draw is at a big number. I'm more than comfortable in taking one unit on it, plus 265.
Yep.
And if you want the correct score, I'll go with 2-2, because I don't see a goalless draw. A 1-1 is very possible, but I like big numbers. So keep the 2-2 draw as just an extra thought. It's.
And
Should
I'm
be
letting
a
the
good
viewers
number.
know too. One of the most popular offshores in the world, Bookmaker, is offering the draw at plus 289 for this game.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely
That sounds
take it.
better. I like it. Kenny, you got anything for this one?
I mean, the only thing I was looking at was the plus 0.25, which aligns with Pavlos. A draw would bring in a half win. I mean,
you know what? I actually do like that bet. And keep in mind that if Liverpool even suggest in a press conference that they're going to rotate, the numbers on PSV are going to go down.
Yeah.
They're already going down. So
and I was kind of looking at a PSV team total at plus 110 for 2 goals. I think that's a little, I'm not making it a play just yet, but I think they need 2 goals to get something out of this game. One's not going to do it. I don't care who Liverpool's playing.
Yeah, this is not one of the matches where you say, "Oh, I have a very confident lean, or whatever." No, just a thought, a gamble with a plus 265, and see if it sticks.
It's very. I want to make before we jump to the next game. I know we've already discussed this game, but this is also for we're for every viewer out there that's watching right now. We're gonna have somebody, at least 2 or 3 people out there that are Liverpool fans or just that follow the Premier League that see, oh, Liverpool's, they're going to look at the price and see what great odds they're getting against a team from the Dutch league. The odds reflect it. I just want to put it out there. I do not put your bank on Liverpool money line just because you see the price that you see.
Fact. All right, next one up, Leverkusen at home to Sparta Prague. Big favorites. Excuse me, minus 750 at home, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but Prague has way more points than I thought, but they have lost 5 straight games. Leverkusen very squarely in the qualification spot. They will be looking to get 3 points to finish in that top 8. Nothing for me here. I think it's a pretty straightforward win for them. Sparta's been a whipping boy. Not going to get involved on the spread. No need. What do you guys think?
Totally agree.
Yep. Really not.
There's no value in this match.
All right. A game with some value, though. This Kenny's team, RB Salzburg at home to Atletico Madrid, plus 750 on the money line. They do not have a chance to make anything out of this, do they? Right? No, 3 points. So they are squarely out of the Champions League. Atletico, another one of those teams, 15 points would be pretty tough for them to fall out of that top 8, but it certainly is possible with 4 teams chasing them. Kenny, you're the expert on Salzburg. What do you think is going to go down here?
Well, we discussed Salzburg last week, and they very graciously rescued your plus 4.5 in a parlay. But what did I say was going to happen last week? This team fucking stinks right now. Pardon my language. No, excuse me. Don't pardon my language because we have no problem swearing on this show. They
Fuck
stink. They're yeah. They're behind me. Well, actually, fuck them. They're not what they used to be. There needs to be some serious makeup done on the team. I mean, I can't just say, oh, we're not scoring because Konate's out, or we're not, the team, they're not even competitive in this league anymore. As I've already said, I believe they're 5th place in the Austrian Bundesliga, which is an embarrassment considering they have at least quadruple the size payroll of any other team in that league. Yes, quadruple. We are talking about a New York Yankee versus Oakland Athletic type of payroll discrepancy here. Atletico Madrid money line. I'm actually going to parlay that. I'm combining something that Pavlos has in another game. I also have another selection in that game because I believe it's a game where Nick is frowning at what I'm taking in the game, but we are talking about a team that is going to publicly pull the pants down on another team. I'm taking Bayern Munich team total over 1.5 in the first half with Atletico Madrid money line.
And what's that pay?
Give me 1 second. Pulling that up right now.
Also check the chat, Kenny.
Oh no.
Can I say a couple of things about Salzburg?
Please do.
Plus 105. plus
all
105.
right.
Nice
All
one.
right. Okay. What's up? What do you got
Okay,
there?
Salzburg. They are the only team out of the 36 teams that hasn't scored at home. They are 0-9, 0 goals scored, 9 conceded. No other team has failed to score. Even Young Boys scored at home. Even Slovan Bratislava has scored at home. The only team that hasn't scored at home is Salzburg. So,
Interesting.
do we go? I mean, do I see Salzburg scoring and not conceding? I do not. I don't think Atletico Madrid, even though it happened to them, they lost to Leganés by 1-0 a couple of weeks ago on the road. I just don't want to live in a world where Atletico Madrid lose to 0. Although it must be said that all 3 of their losses on the road this season against Leganés, against Betis, and against Benfica were to 0.
Interesting.
I see, I don't see Salzburg scoring here, but logic, one kind of logic, my weird kind of logic, dictates that they will fight to not be the only team that didn't score at home. However, they have all sorts of problems, as Kenny said. They're not the team that they were in like 2-3 seasons ago. And they have a crucial quarterfinal in their domestic cup coming up in 3 days. So, do they go and push some players, some would-be starters in an absolutely meaningless match against Atletico Madrid and risk injury or fatigue for a quarterfinal in just 3 days? I don't think so. The logical thing for a team in Salzburg's position right now is to just be entirely indifferent about this match against Atletico Madrid and go to win the cup quarterfinal with a chance to the semis and, of course, closer to some silverware. Because I don't think they're getting, let me see. I don't think they're winning the league. They're 10 points behind Sturm Graz. Maybe they do, but looks like they don't. So, logically speaking, Salzburg will be indifferent in this match. But if you want to, think outside the box, if you want to gamble with it, maybe both teams to score at minus 111 could be the way to go. If you want to take the over 2.75 at minus 135, also could be the way to go because Atletico can score 3 on their own. All I'm saying is that in situations like this, and I did that with Bologna actually a couple of match days ago, it was they were scoreless at home, and they scored 2 against Dortmund, I believe.
Won the game, yeah.
Yeah, so
We had that.
yeah, just a lean.
Yeah.
This is not an official play. Both teams to score at minus 111, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and here's what I'll do. I enjoy being able to bounce ideas off of each other, and I can take a scenario here where I just kind of find the best of what you both take and provide an option to the listeners. If you believe in what both of these guys are saying, which I always do, the track record speaks for itself. Both teams to score, no draw. It's plus 145. So you're thinking that Salzburg can get on the score sheet. They get something here at home. They're looking for money. They're looking for pride. They're looking for whatever. But Atletico still get a result, or Salzburg pull out some sort of a miracle 2-goal performance. You can get plus 145. Again, not an official play, but I just think it's an interesting way to look at the game to try to squeeze a little more value. Talking about 60 cents on that bet.
56 cents of value to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
So
price.
Just a thought. Kenny, talk. I mean, you let's close out your parlay here. There's the other game. It was Bayern Munich taking on Slovan Bratislava. Bayern Munich is minus 10,000 on the money line. I personally think Kenny is insane for putting a bet into this game, but that's okay. That's why there's 3 of us here on the show. I mean, to talk about how bad Bratislava's been, it would be really, really difficult. They've lost all 7 games. They have given up 24 goals in those 7 games. Bayern is Bayern. They can turn it on any which way. So, Kenny, you're gonna at least 2 in the first half.
Do you guys know what you usually hear after every single time Bayern Munich scores? Over and over and over a fucking again on repeat in this game.
It's stuck in your head.
You were not going to be able to sleep If you have to work after this game, dude, just go to sleep because this song's gonna be stuck in your head. You will not be able to take a nap. Bayern Munich are going to pull Slovan Bratislav's pants all the way down. Not halfway down, all the way down. It's a wrap. Here's the thing: -1.5 first half is -163. I'm going -1.75 first half Asian handicap. -122. I think that this could be 3 or 4-0 at halftime. We are talking about if there's one team you don't want to be playing, if you're the worst team in this competition, but Bayern Munich might not be the best team in the competition. They're definitely top 5. If Barcelona wanted to, could they put up 8-9? Maybe.
No.
But are they a team that's going to normally do that? Maybe not. They might get up 4-0, 5-0. Bayern Munich will put up 6 goals on you if you let them. They will put up 12 after 90 minutes if you let them.
They won't hold back. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to stop. So tuning into this game, get a beer and just get ready to do the anthem. That's all you're going to hear for the first 45 minutes. I don't know how many times, but it's going to be more than 2 times. Like I said, I've already got the team total in the first half combined.
Yeah. And they're at home too. There's no risk. I mean, listen, I get it. Game like this, the spread is the spread for a reason. The money line is the money line for a reason. In my mind, is it absolutely ludicrous that you can get plus 7,500 for a team in a single game and a game that's meaningless at that? Yes, I think that's kind of insane. But I certainly understand the logic. So like the 2 first half goals don't correlate to the -10,000. So there's a big discrepancy there, right? If you told me a team was -10,000, they should be -3, -4 on the spread in the first half. At least that's how I think about it. So I completely get your logic. Rooting for this play. That's all I'll say.
I have 2 more things I want to add. Only 2. So I'm just taking a random team right now that's got 14 points that's currently sitting in one of those coveted 8 positions. We're talking about Atalanta. They're plus 14 on the goal differential. Bayern Munich. So if Atalanta gets a draw and they end up at 15 points with their plus 14, if Bayern Munich gets a win and they win 9-0, which they could definitely do, they really might do that. They would have a plus 15 goal differential.
Zagreb by 9-2 in match day 1. Don't forget about that.
They could fully add 9 to their goal differential and steal one of those 8 spots. We're talking about Atalanta, Milan, Madrid. There are teams up there. Are they most of them likely to win? Sure. But if one of those teams drops even 1 point, Bayern could be right there with that goal differential. Their newly improved plus 2,000 goal differential. They could definitely take one of those top 8 spots.
Interesting thought. I mean, hadn't considered it because I just kind of looked at the number and stopped thinking about the game.
It's yucky. Yeah, but there's so many ways to bet on this match, like first half over, just whatever the books are giving you. I think Bayern can cover anything against, and the fact that they didn't win that easily at Freiburg over the weekend. They struggled a little bit. If they hadn't won that match at Freiburg, I'd be mortgaging my house, to be honest. I'd put I'd sell my car and put that money in Bayern Munich. But they're looking for somebody to bruise, and Slovan are cruising for a bruising. So,
fair enough. Next one up, Inter Milan at home -155, Monaco plus 400. Monaco with a really strong win against Aston Villa last time out. Inter pretty much solidified in the top 8. Monaco on the outside looking in, but only by a point. Do you like Monaco to continue the good form that they have been in and get something out of this game? Or is this Inter team just a little too much to overcome? Draw at plus 320 looks really interesting.
Based on the standings.
Wait, Inter are playing the Milan Derby in 3 days, eh?
Draw looks really interesting to me at plus 320. I think Monaco plus 1 at -130 is pretty interesting.
Wait. The under 3 might actually be playable here.
-135 that I see.
Let's see at Pinnacle. -130. Yeah. It's not a good price, but Inter Milan, they're 6-1 to the under 2.5 goals in the competition. 6-1 to the under 2.5 goals. 8 goals scored, 1 conceded. Monaco, not so keen on the unders. They're actually 5-2 to the over with a 3.3 goals on average per match. Strange match, man. Strange match. Monaco are one of the teams where I've been following closely and betting on the French league for in the last 5 or 6 years. They're one of the teams that I cannot get right. No matter what I do, I pick the under. It's an over. I pick them to win and they lose. I pick them to get a point. They
fucking time.
Whatever I pick, it's the opposite. So no more.
Agree.
Just small lean to the under. Maybe under 3 because of Inter. And Inter, when they have a big match coming up, they never, ever, ever open up.
Yes.
They never open up. So they have a derby, a Milan derby against AC Milan on the weekend, on Saturday, just 3 days after this match. So there's going to be some rotation for sure. I don't know what that means for goals. Gun to my head, I take the under 3 here.
Everything Pavlo said times 1,000. I never get Monaco right. I never thought they would keep Aston Villa out of the net last week. They did that. I take their fucking team totals. They don't score. I fade them. They fucking go off for 4. So I'm with you there. I don't know if it's recency bias, but I definitely agree with you. Inter has to be looking ahead. Inter is already squarely qualified. Inzaghi is not a manager that likes to rotate, but if there was ever a time, now is the time for some rotation. Monaco's going for it. I don't think plus 400 is the correct number for this game. So I would honestly take them at +1. I don't really see Inter running out to a 2-goal victory in this one. I think +1 gives you a lot of protection. Sitting at -130, that's kind of where I lean.
I like that even more than the under 3, to be honest. Gives a lot of extra protections.
Then that's it. It's in.
Even if there's no rotation in this game, that Milan derby is, I would say, one of the top 5 biggest rivalries in the sport. Even if there is no rotation, it's going to be in the back of those players' minds. They've already qualified for top 8. No one's knocking them out. That game is going to hold higher priority than this game right here. I'm with you guys.
Yeah, because if they win the Milan derby, they can move up to first place again. So.
Yep.
Or is it head-to-head? What did the Inter Milan do with Napoli? Did they play? Of course they played. Because it's head-to-head. It's a draw. Anyway, it's a look-ahead spot for Inter Milan, so who knows?
Yep. All right. Next up, Dortmund at home to Shakhtar. -275 for Dortmund at home, where they are historically very good. Shakhtar +650. Dortmund 12 points. Shakhtar on 7 would be Dortmund's in. Right there. They've had a really good Champions League campaign from my standpoint. 4 wins out of 7. Shakhtar really, really, really long odds to. I don't even know that it's possible. Do you guys think they could play a little bit of a spoiler here or try to recoup some money with a win, or do you think it's a straightforward decision for Dortmund here?
There are very few games that I'm more conflicted on than this one, given how bad my team's form is right now. They are extremely bad right now. Motivationally speaking, 3 points, just like many teams, gives them a chance to get back into the top 8. But we are talking about a Shakhtar team that has no problem playing spoiler like they've done countless times in the past. I'm beyond conflicted in this game, guys. You could tell me Shakhtar plus 1.25. Dortmund's form is awful right now. You could tell me Dortmund moneyline in a parlay because they just simply need to win to have a chance at top 8. I don't know.
I like over 2.5 cards in this game at -130. I think that seems really, really low. Granted, a little bit meaningless from that standpoint, but 3 cards.
2.5 cards.
Yeah, right. Three
Really
cards in
low.
the game seems reasonable. And I think an over 3 is probably reasonable. I think both teams get on the score sheet. It's something you could play. It's not the best bet, but just kind of trying to give out what I think comes in. Both teams to score actually is better than over 3. -130 at both teams to score. I think Shakhtar's proven that they get on the score sheet in this competition. They don't take anything lightly. Coming off of a good win. Just thoughts. But cards could be it.
Bad referee for cards, although he officiated Man City versus Inter Milan, 1 card. Real Madrid versus Salzburg, 1 card. But PSG Eindhoven, 7 cards. Tottenham Roma, 3 cards. Dinamo Zagreb Karabakh in the Champions League qualifiers, 3 cards.
We're not asking for much. 3 cards.
Yeah, 3 cards is definitely playable, and
we can chalk one of those up because Salzburg went back to the bus after they were down 3-0.
Yeah, and Shakhtar Donetsk versus Bayern Munich. Of course, they were playing at home, which is in Germany. 4 cards, 2 cards for its team, and Bayern getting 2 cards against a team that they were beating like 3-1 at that point. Definitely possible. What I'm going to say about this match is that Dortmund, they sacked their coach after the loss to Bologna last week. I'm not sure if they found a replacement so far, but over the weekend, they got an injury in the first half, a red card in the first half, still took the lead, took a 2-goal lead, then ended up drawing a 2-2 against Werder Bremen. So there is frustration from the loss to Bologna. Frustration for the draw against Bremen, fatigue from playing almost more than 70 minutes a player down, frustration from the fact that they were 2-0 up and they didn't get nothing. Overall frustration. I don't know if they're more frustrated about the recent run or they are more optimistic because they changed their coach. And long story short, I think the odds on Dortmund are laughable against a Shakhtar Donetsk team that has caused quite a few upsets over the years.
Agree.
I don't think I'm going to bet this match unless I get an epiphany. To be honest, I was looking at the first half goal, much like last week, but the line is at 1.25. If it was at 1, I'd smash the over because it's a protection. If there's just 1 goal in the first half, you get your money back. The books know it. They have Shakhtar team total just to score at -165, which is probably the best price out there. Pass from me.
Yep.
Pass from me. But very, very dangerous. This is one of the favorites, home favorites, where I'm looking to avoid. Even if they win by 7-0, I don't care. Yep. The odds are messed up and the lines are bad.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. All right, next up, we got a big one. Stuttgart holding on to the very last qualifying position. They are at home. They're facing PSG. PSG actually same amount of points. They both have 10 points through 7 games. Stuttgart plus 245. Draw plus 150. PSG plus 175. Guys, and as long as we've been doing the show and as long as I've been betting the sport, I don't think I've ever seen a draw as low as plus 150. Pavlos, you're way more in tune with that market. You could tell me otherwise, but that is one of the lowest lines I have ever seen. Is there any reason to think that this won't be a draw?
Yes. In this case, whenever I see small draws, I already know that a draw gets them both qualified. Yes. There is no way, because up until yesterday, I thought because if City won and this was a draw, they would overtake Stuttgart. But if City win, it means that Club Brugge are going to move down a couple of spots. So while indeed a draw gets both teams qualified, I'm not really sure if it's a good play here. Maybe it hits. We've seen this many times in the past. The teams, they just don't want to risk it. I think what happens if one team goes up? And it's not entirely impossible for one team to just score a goal. The other team is probably getting eliminated. So they're going to open up. What I mean by this, and I don't want to take much of your time, this is just that Stuttgart, they're coming off a bad loss over the weekend at Mainz, 2-0. They're changing their formation. I'm not really sure what to expect of them here. PSG on the road, they tend to suck, and most of their matches are unders. But for whatever reason, I like the over 2.25 goals here. It's at -120, in the sense that if either team scores a goal, the other team must open up to find an equalizer. Otherwise, they're in grave danger of dropping out.
Yep.
And if they open up, maybe they concede a second, or maybe they do score a second. So if you take the over 2.25, maybe you lose half your stake if there's just 2 goals. But what happens, these are teams that can play offensively, especially Stuttgart at home. Although I've seen Stuttgart a lot of times this season, there are certain matches where they just don't, I don't know if they don't want to play or if they can't play. There's just some random 1-1 draws out of nowhere. And a 1-1 draw, I can't rule that out. So this is one of the strangest matches to bet on. I know everybody's going to be on the draw, and it might be worth, a small stake or 1 unit or something. But something tells me that this is not going to be the amicable match that it appears to be. Simply because of that. If either team gets in front, if either team scores a goal, the other team knows that, and because all the matches are taking place at the same time, what happens if, for example, PSG score? Stuttgart know that if City are beating Club Brugge and Sporting are not losing to Bologna, they're out.
They're out. Yep.
They're out. So they're gonna have to open up. And PSG, they can destroy them in the counterattack. And Stuttgart already have a good offense, and they can. Yeah, I think PSG's defense is a bit better than Stuttgart's, but both defenses can play good at times. Now, is this a time? I don't know. This is, I think, the draw at plus 150, 160 is a little cheese, as we say here in Greece. It's a trap. They're dangling, the cheese, but there's a big mousetrap underneath.
100%.
So I'm kind of leaning to the over 2.25 goals here. No official play, but something stinks here.
I hate to say it. I hate PSG. Everybody knows I hate PSG. I hate them in the Champions League. They're chokers. Stuttgart, I think, is a team that doesn't nearly get the respect that they deserve. I think they're always a better team than odds indicate for whatever reason. Right? For whatever reason. That's both in the Bundesliga and that's in this competition. I think they're going to do everything they possibly can to advance. And if they do, it's going to be a tough matchup for anybody in the next round. That being said, I've never seen a plus 140 number for a PSG team total since the takeover, since they, have flooded the club with all this money and basically bought any player that they've ever wanted to buy. So is it out of the realm of possibility for PSG to get 2 goals in this game, even though they're away from home? I don't think it is. I think it's a really big number. I think it supports Pavlos's over 2.25. That's all I'm going to say on the subject, because I can never confirm or deny if I will be placing a bet for PSG to do something good.
Let me, I've been chomping at the bit to say this.
Please.
This is only, okay. So I'm going to just bring up live betting here. So we can see Pavlos's goals in the 60th, 70th, 80th minute. We could see them in the first or 15th minute. If you're willing to take a gamble on a game where like Pablo said, this isn't even an official play. But if you're looking at, if you want to secure a push, watch the first 15, 20 minutes of this game, regardless of this game looks good for goals. If you look at what each team needs, I don't see this game just goals flooding right out in the first. There's no reason for it. Right. Both of these teams, a draw gets them through. So I'm expecting to see 0-0 after 20, 25 minutes. Live betting after 20, 25 minutes. That total is going to dip to 2. Over 2 might be minus 120. So if you don't care about waiting a little extra time, you could secure a push on over 2. Over 2 minus 120, minus 125. I don't see a goal going in the first 25 minutes. I'm not suggesting a first half under or anything like that. I'm saying wait 20 minutes. Be by your sports book. Secure over 2.
What's the first half total? If it's 1, minus 135. For the under 1.
It's okay.
Could be a goalless draw in the first half, just because these two are playing cat and mouse. Don't want to concede first, because the longer
this
this
0-0 draw, you could do the classic gambling Twitter over 1.5 in the second half.
I like that. Highest scoring half, second half, always good.
this could hit with just one goal.
Yep. All right. So we heard about your thoughts on Inter Milan with the upcoming derby with AC Milan. AC Milan is traveling Dinamo Zagreb in this one. Zagreb needs a win. No two ways about it. 1 point does nothing for them. They need all three. AC Milan are in sixth place. They're certainly through. Still a potential to be in that top 8. So they will be looking to potentially get points out of this one. But the big derby in front of them. Dinamo plus 450, AC Milan minus 185. Do you guys see a scenario where Zagreb gets something? They are minus 105 at plus 1, minus 135 at plus 1.25. Tough team to play at home. They've scored goals in the competition. If I'm not mistaken, 2 goals in every game except for the last one. So what do you guys make of this match?
I'm going to shut this down really quick. This is my opinion. Their win came against Salzburg away. I mean, normally I'd say it's a great win, but Salzburg this season is not that impressive to me. They got a point against Celtic at home. Okay. You lost 3-0 at home to Dortmund, and you beat Slovan Bratislava away. Yes, they're in a position where they could accidentally find themselves in position to have a chance, but the only reason they're even here is because of what they've done against some of the worst teams. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's the beauty of this new format for them.
Yep.
Right. If they're in a group stage, they're nowhere near with a chance to get out playing like this. So
Milan could fall out of the top 8 if they don't win this game. Correct.
Yep. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is enough for me to say I want nothing to do with Zagreb.
Okay.
Handicap.
They could even fall out of the top 8 even if they draw, and at least 2 or 3 teams below them win. Because they have a plus 4 goal difference. The teams below them have plus 14, plus 6, plus 5, plus 3, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So if they win, it's going to be at least plus 3 for AC Milan can get a draw here and still drop out of the top 8. Strange match. And it gets even stranger because AC Milan have a depleted defense. Emerson Royal.
They got Kyle Walker.
Yeah, he's not registered though.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so Emerson Royal, their starting right back, is injured. Calabria is suspended, and he also got in a heated exchange with the new coach after the weekend match, and they were almost, physically fighting, almost. And they're missing, they're missing Theo as well. So I'm not sure if they're gonna have to be forced to change a formation to a backline with 3 center backs. I don't really know. My heart says both teams to score in over 2.5 goals because Zagreb, they're not out of the picture just yet.
Yep.
A big win could potentially put them in the qualification spots. They're not the team that goes, they don't easily win big, especially against teams like AC Milan. We should also say that the Dinamo Zagreb, they have a league match just 3 days after this one, and it's against a team that are below them in the standings. So it's not a match to quickly disregard. For example, if they were playing a team in the bottom of their league, I'd say, they could go maybe see out their chances if they can qualify for the Champions League. But now they're in danger of spending too many resources on a midweek match, losing that one, not qualifying, and then all your players are tired for the weekend match, and you lose that one as well. My initial thought was both teams to score in over 2.5 goals because AC Milan, they really cannot keep clean sheets, and they're missing a lot of players in the defense. But I ended up scrapping this play because Zagreb are missing Bruno Petkovic, who is by far the best striker in that squad. He's a big guy. He can pass. He's like a poor man's Benzema, if you will. No play in this match. Initial thought was both teams scoring over 2.5 goals, but the more I read about this match, the less I liked my play. So no play for me. Just a thought on the both teams scoring over 2.5 goals.
I like it. Aston Villa at home to Celtic. Villa minus 185. Celtic plus 475. Villa just right there, 13 points, chance to make it into the top 8, chance to stay where they are. Celtic have been surprisingly good. I feel like they're in 18th place. They have 12 points. They are secured qualification to the knockout rounds. So really nowhere for them to go in this game. Villa, I'm giving definite edge to being at home, but this Celtic team is spunky. Do you think they can get anything out of this game, especially considering the form Aston Villa's been in? They started off the competition absolutely hot. They lost their last game. They have points dropped in 2 of their last 3 in this competition. They're giving up goals left and right in the Premier League. I think they're down to like 8th or 9th place. So really bad run of form. You guys giving Celtic any chance to get something out of this game?
From what I'm seeing, Villa, obviously great chance to get into the top 8 with I think we've come to the conclusion that Leverkusen are going to win their game. But Atalanta, they're in a tough spot where if they don't, they don't win, they might fall out of top 8. It's hard for me to argue a Celtic team that has nowhere to go in the standings going to Villa Park, where there is no team with a bigger difference in terms of how they play versus away from home versus at Villa Park at home. I can't sell any sort of stock on Celtic, even motivationally having any reason. And then you've got, like I said, Villa with a win that can move into the top 8. If anything, I think this points to Aston Villa.
Okay.
Could be an Aston Villa, could be an under, because we've said it again. Unai Emery, the coach of Aston Villa,
lives for this shit.
He's not going to risk anything. If it's a goalless draw, fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm qualified. If we win 1-0, 2-0, fine. Celtic on the road are not to be trusted. They couldn't even beat Zagreb. Goalless draw. A goalless draw at Atalanta. A 7-1 loss to Dortmund. Okay, that was back in the early stages of the season. Celtic are not to be trusted on the road, and I think Aston Villa will shut this down. If they win, it's going to be like with under 2.5 goals. If you want to take Villa and under 3.5 goals, it's also playable. Strange match between two teams that, if Celtic win, they could have some small chances of moving into the top 8, but they're going to need a combination of a lot of results. I'm not even sure if it's even possible. Strange match, nothing here.
Agree. Next up, we have Sporting Lisbon at home to Bologna. Sporting is on 10 points. They're in one of the last qualifying spots. They will need something out of this game. Bologna on 5, got their win the last game, points in the last 2, but absolutely nothing to play for here, except, spoiler, they are looking to stay in European qualifying spots in their domestic league. So not sure how seriously they'll be taking this one. Sporting minus 220 at home. Anything for you guys in this one?
Yes, I've actually got more of a debate with myself. First of all, I'm going Sporting minus 3.5 corners, bringing corners back.
Okay.
135.
Okay, then.
Longer this game stays 0-0, which Bologna has no problem keeping teams to 0 goals for extended amounts of time.
Yes.
Sporting racking up corners. I love the low number on minus 3.5. But more, the debate I have with myself is why the hell is this total 3? Bologna are not a high-scoring team. I think they have 3 goals in this competition. They've allowed 8. They're not known for getting a ton of goals. Sporting could easily get to 2-0, and if they don't feel threatened, they might not even go for a third. But if you're taking over in this game, I'm asking you why. Yep. You need 4 goals to get paid out, and one of the fucking teams that you have on your side to get you one of those 4 goals is Bologna. Why? That's
like you think maybe Gyökeres goes on a rampage and gets a hat trick or something like that. That's kind of your only hope. I agree. I like the corner play. I think Sporting have to bring it. They're going to look to get a goal. They're going to look to attack early. Bologna is going to sit back as much as possible, look to play on the counter. I like the corner bet, believe it or not. Also, I never get Sporting games right, so I'm passing from any other analysis.
Okay. I was looking at Sporting to win 2-0. Let me see. When
Not
both
bad.
teams score no.
Not bad.
Plus 160. Actually, if you go DraftKings right now, there's a ready-made same game parlay. Sporting win to 0 is plus 130. But if you go create your own same game parlay and pick the exact same things, Sporting to win and both teams to score no is at plus 160. So why get a lower price, a worse price when you can get a better price? Bologna haven't scored on the road. Goalless draw at Benfica, 2-0 loss at Aston Villa, 2-0 loss at Liverpool. Not really threatening. And Sporting, they can play good defense at times, although Sporting, they're not in a good shape right now. After their coach left for Manchester City, for Manchester United, neither Manchester United are doing well, nor Sporting are doing well. So that was a marriage, a really, really bad marriage and a bad divorce from Sporting. Sporting are not scoring goals anymore. If you look at their wait, I have the stats here. Only 2 of Sporting's last 13 matches in all competitions had 4 goals or more. That's an 11-3 to the under 3.5 goals. So with the line set at 3, you're pretty safe. Because 7 of 13 also went to the under 2.5 goals. At home, they're on a 5-0 run to the under 2.5 goals and 6-1 to the under 2.5 goals in last 7. With 3 of those also going to the under 1.5 goals. So it's 1-0, 2-0, 1-1, stuff like that. Sporting can wake up and choose violence and score a lot of goals against anybody. But Bologna, they rarely get overexposed. For context, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of Sporting's last 5 home wins came to 0. And all 4 of Bologna's away losses this season were to 0. So Sporting win to 0 kind of makes sense. But I think I'm going to pivot to the under 3 goals. We already took that. Just keep in mind, Sporting win to 0 at plus 160 could be a way to go. I don't want to double dip in this match. And that's it.
I like it. All right, let's close this out. A couple games left. Did we talk about Juve Benfica, or was that off the air? I'm already losing my mind. We talked about that game.
I think we did, yeah.
Okay. Sturm Graz at home to RB Leipzig. Sturm Graz plus 255. RB sitting at even money. Sturm, absolutely no chance to do anything in this game. RB, I think. Where are they? 3, neither team. Right? I forgot how bad they've been. We talked about it last week, but they got the win for us. So I should forget about it. Nothing for either team to do here. I don't have a play unless you just want to take RB on the money line because they're that much better.
That was exactly my thought. Can you go first? Just no official play. Maybe if you guys convince me, I don't know.
The value is with Leipzig, if you ask me. I mean, they have no chances to progress.
Neither team.
I hate Leipzig away from home. They've been one of the biggest money burners for me in terms of teams away from home. But Sturm Graz, we're talking about a team in the Austrian Bundesliga, miles below where Leipzig is, despite that they're having a down year. It's not a game with ramifications on anything, but in terms of just a bet that has value plus money on a team that's far better.
Yeah.
But I could also argue the price is there for a reason. It could be a trap. So I'm going to flip a coin and land on no play.
Okay. You already decided what the flip was going to be. Just a couple of thoughts on this match. Sturm Graz, they have an upcoming quarterfinal in the Austrian Cup. So it's against rivals Austria Vienna, whom they're also playing against 5 days or 6 days later in the cup, in the league. So they have 2 kind of important matches coming up, and they just sold 2 or 3 of the best players. While Leipzig, they're starting to be better, although how can you bottle a 3-0 lead to Bochum on the road, 3-3, and then go and get a 2-2 draw against Leverkusen? It's really weird, but value on the Leipzig money line, just small stake bet if you want. It's a decent price for a better team that they're playing Union Berlin on the weekend. It's a pesky team that they have tormented them over the last 3, 4, 5 years. But the man line is not that bad. Not an official play, but just a little.
Agree. All right, last one or two games. We have a good one here. Lille at home to Feyenoord. Both teams, 13 points. Potential for a winner here to sneak into that top 8. Lille at home, even money. Feyenoord plus 255. I just want to continue to bring up good points made on the show. Pavlos made it last week. French teams at home have been fantastic. Lille has obviously overperformed expectations to get to this point, but Feyenoord, don't look now. Coming on strong, 2 wins in a row, points in 3 of their last 4 in the competition. Obviously, took that game to Bayern Munich last time. Are they getting disrespected with a plus 255 number, or is Lille a little too much to overcome?
Nick, I've been waiting to get to this game before you had to go.
Should have told me. I would have started with it.
Well, you guys know, yeah. Pavlos knows something like the not that it's coming. How often do you guys ever fucking hear me build up an over? My favorite thing to do when I'm watching, and one of my favorite things to do is take 2 under 1.5s in a parlay, and just be like a psycho, checking my FOTMOB, checking flash score. 20th minute 0-0, awesome. 25th minute 0. I love no fun, no goals, shots fired into the 25th row. I love no fun. This game, Feyenoord, most goals allowed of any team in the top 25. Top 25, like we're talking about college football. We're talking
and they just kept a clean sheet against Bayern Munich. How crazy is that?
Realistically, they really. Here's
3 goals from them to cash us our winner last week too, miraculously.
Pavlos might come out with some stats and make me look bad, like, oh, the stats support a goalless draw.
No. I'm with goals here.
Both teams in this, a draw does neither team no good. A draw does not put either of these teams into the top 8. It
knocks neither team out, goals, right? They're both in, regardless. They're making it to the knockout stage, so they're both having incentive to go for it.
Yep. And over 2.5 goals is minus 123. We're not talking about a 3 or 3.25. Over 2.5 goals minus 123. I'm behind it. I'm entirely behind it. You'll probably never see me this fired up about a fucking over in a game again, but I'm on over 2.5 minus 123.
I agree. I'll just, before you hop in, Pavlos, I think this is absolutely the play. I think both teams to score is minus 160. If you want to use that as some sort of parlay piece, I think that's super live. I also wouldn't really be mad at anybody if they wanted to take Feyenoord plus half a goal at minus 130. I think that's a little bit of a silly number. Granted, Lille's been very good at home, but definitely goals in this one. Over 2.5. 4 damn sure is the play for the show. Maybe a 2-2 correct score, 3-3 correct score. I'm trying to get silly like Pavlos here. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Okay, Lille have a lot of problems, both injuries and suspensions, mostly in the midfield. But I do like goals as well. Feyenoord, they scored 3 away at City, 3 away at Benfica, and 3 away at Girona. And they conceded 2 at Girona, 1 at Benfica, and 3 at City. Lille, they can be a frustrating team where they can conjure up a 1-1 draw out of nowhere where you least expect it, or a 2-0 win. But what Kenny said about these 2 teams, the draw doesn't do them any good. It's not like they're going to sit back and play nice and say, okay, we're fine with the draw. I don't want to get over it. No, they have a chance to move up into the top 8, which is a huge deal because they get a bye in the next round. If they stay between the 9th and the 24th position that they are now, they're going to play an extra round, and who knows where they're going to end up playing against. There's PSG there, there's Stuttgart, there's City there. So there's no guarantee that they're going to continue in this competition. So I think they both go for it. The over is at a very playable price at what, minus 125 or something.
Yep.
I like it. I don't want to double dip. I don't want to double dip, but I'm totally behind Kenny's over.
No, nothing better than
easy
all being on the same play. Absolutely love this one. Hope it comes through early so we can be sweat free. All right, last one that we didn't talk about: Young Boys at home to Red Star Belgrade. guys, 3 points between the two teams. Young boys, maybe are we hoping they have a chance? They're actually betting favorites at plus 155. The draw is plus 265. Can they get something out of it? I am not getting involved in this match. There's no upside for me. Would just love to get your thoughts before we close out.
The only team I could make a case for is Red Star.
Agreed.
Young boys have been historically. I could say it fucking 50 more times, and I still wouldn't be able to do it justice. Historically bad this season. I wasn't really expecting much out of them, even in a good year. But I lost track. They're like not even top 4 in the Swiss league. They normally win that league with their eyes closed. I think they've won it like 8 or 9 years in a row, and they're not even gonna. They might not even come in the top 3 this season. Something's wrong with that team. Do they have a chance against Red Star? I believe they do not.
Oh, that's it?
To claim 3 points,
listen,
maybe a draw.
My official play for this one is Red Star Pick'em at minus 110.
I love it. I was torn between the goals and the Red Star Pick'em. I definitely see Red Star not losing this one, and there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, Red Star, even though they do have a league match coming up, and it's against TSC or Batska Topola, he's one of Kenny's favorite teams, but they're 17 points ahead in the title race. So why not get some recognition and some money? Because Red Star are not one of the rich teams. They're just poor. I'm not, compared to the other teams, they're poor. So I think they're getting like 1.5 million euros for each win, which is a lot of money.
Good money.
So they're definitely gonna go for it. Although historically they're not that good on the road. They're much better at home, but on the road, especially in the Champions League, they are bad. But they're now playing against a team that's worse than them. So the other reason why I do like Red Star Pick'em is the fact that Young Boys, their league just restarted. They played for a goalless draw against Grasshoppers on the road over the weekend. Strange match. They could have won, they could have lost. The reality, though, is that they have another match just 2 days after this one, or 3 days. Wait, it's on the first. It's 3 days after this one, and it's against Lausanne, a team that's above them. So right now, Young Boys are sitting in the relegation playoff spots. It's 12-team league. The top 6 go to the championship group. The bottom 6 go to the relegation group, and they fight each other. And I think 1 or 2 of them get relegated. So Young Boys, they absolutely need to ignore this match against Red Star because they have an uphill battle in their own domestic league, and it's not easy at all. So I really don't know how Young Boys will find anything, to just care about this match. And it's Red Star's match to lose.
Yep.
If Red Star suck, of course they're gonna lose. But I think with a pick'em, you get a nice safety with a draw. You get your money back. I don't think Red Star are losing this one. I mean, So it's a nice play, decent play.
Awesome. Well, boys, pleasure to be back with you. That's another 16 plays we were able to throw out there, looking to capitalize on a big week that we had last week. We will potentially be back with you for the weekend slate or next week at some point. So stay tuned, follow the show, follow Faceoff Sports Network, follow the guys. Everybody's handle is up on the screen. Appreciate you rocking with us. Good luck on all your bets.
Bayern Munich anthem on repeat.
I'm going to find the clip and